I was born into a world of blood and bullets. As the only daughter of Vincent Rossi, the most feared crime lord on the East Coast, danger was my genetic inheritance. To protect me, he handpicked 9 boys from orphanages and broken homes, raising them inside our fortress-like estate. They were trained in combat, surveillance, and sacrifice. Their sole purpose to take the bullets meant for me. On my 21st birthday, my father called me into his study. The room smelled of aged leather and cigar smoke, a scent I had known since childhood.
Scarlett, come here,
he said, sliding a silver-framed folder across the mahogany desk. Inside were 9 photographs, each with a name printed beneath.
Tonight, you will choose one of them. Not just as your bodyguard, as your fiancé.
I stared at the faces. When my eyes landed on the second row, third from the left, my heart clenched. Jay Walker, I had followed him since I was 12, the one who pulled me out of a frozen pond. He had held me against his chest, shivering, whispering that everything would be okay. From that moment, I loved him with the desperate intensity of a little girl, a girl who had never known a mother's embrace. But then came Sophia. She was a scholarship student, whom my father had taken in after her parents died. Sophia arrived with big, grateful eyes, and a voice so soft you had to lean in to hear her. Jay was drawn to her immediately. They shared the same wounded past, the same longing to belong. And I could only watch, helpless, as he slipped through my fingers. But this time would be different. Because this time, I remembered everything. In my previous life, they drove poisoned steel nails through my palms. Trembling, I called Jay for help, only to receive his ice-cold reply.
Scarlett, don't play such boring tricks. Your location shows you're still in the hotel suite. Using a pity act to monopolize me, it's disgusting.
In the background, a woman laughed. I closed my eyes in despair. When the iron cage sank to the bottom of the sea, and the freezing water flooded my mouth and nose, I lost all sign of life. Then, miraculously, impossibly, I opened my eyes, and found myself back in that study, staring at the same 9 faces. I took a breath so deep it hurt my chest.
Scarlett? Are you all right? You look very pale.
I looked down at the folder. Before my fingers could tremble, I picked up the gold pen, and, with resolute finality, crossed out Jay Walker's name. My father's cigar stopped midair.
What are you doing?
I'm not choosing Jay.
But you've loved that boy since you were a child. Everyone knows that.
You're wrong, Dad. I want someone else.
Who?
Another face flashed through my mind. A quieter face, one that had always lingered at the edge of my vision. In my previous life, when the cage sank beneath the waves, I had heard someone screaming my name. Not Jay. Someone else. The one who had been pounding on the underwater viewing glass with his fists, knuckles bleeding, eyes wild with grief.
Mason Vaughn. I choose Mason.
Mason? That gloomy one? Barely speaks?
He speaks when he needs to.
A long silence.
You never cease to surprise me, Scarlett. Very well. The engagement will be announced at the banquet 3 days from now. Until then, not a word to anyone.
Understood, Father.
At the door, my father's voice stopped me.
Scarlett.
I turned.
What just happened to you in the past 5 minutes? I hope it was worth it.
I didn't answer.
I walked into the hallway, my heels clicking on the marble like a countdown. The manor's great hall was a cathedral of wealth, crystal chandeliers, a frescoed ceiling, a spiral staircase that seemed to reach heaven. Halfway down, I saw them. Jay and Sophia. She was pressed against his side, her hand clutching his arm like a lifeline. When she noticed me descending the stairs, she flinched dramatically, shrinking behind him, her doe eyes wide with manufactured fear.
Even if Sophia is a scholarship student your family took in, that doesn't mean you have the right to intimidate her.
Jay, what exactly did I do to her?
Sophia raised her hand, her fingers were red and cracked, and the skin was peeling.
I just wanted to help Miss Rossi. I thought if I hand-washed her silk dress, she might be kinder to me. But I understand. I'm nothing. My hands don't matter.
I've never asked her to wash anything.
I know you're going to pick me as your fiancé tonight. The boss already hinted at it. But let me make this clear. I will never love a cruel woman like you.
Just then, a rapid figure burst from the left corridor. A man lunged at me, holding a hunting knife. I screamed and stumbled backward. Jay kicked out, and the hunting knife fell to the ground. Within seconds, he had the man pinned, but then, a second attacker, slashing at Sophia's leg, blood blooming on her white dress. Jay's head whipped toward her. I saw the struggle in his eyes. Then, he released the first attacker and lunged at Sophia. The first man got up, grabbed the knife, and charged at me again. I closed my eyes, waiting for the blade. When I opened my eyes, the attacker was on the ground, and Mason Vaughn stood in front of me, his fist still raised in midair. Mason wasn't handsome like Jay. His eyes were the color of a storm, his mouth rarely curved into a smile. But now, those storm gray eyes were burning. He turned to Jay.
Did you forget mission?
She's fine. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened? Your mission? The only reason the boss took us in is to protect her, not your little charity case. Sophia isn't a charity case, and she got hurt because of Scarlet.
Mason stepped forward, fists clenched.
Jay, we all did. Our lives for hers, and you just broke it. I didn't break anything. I made a choice. A man's choice. And you're worthless.
He lunged at Mason, and the two men collided in a brutal dance of fists and fury. Seeing this, I rushed to separate them. Then Sophia moaned. Jay immediately broke free and scooped her into his arms. He headed toward the medical wing without a backward glance. Mason's face was cold as ice. He turned to me, his eyes dark with anger.
Why did you stop me?
I didn't.
You're always like this.
He stepped back.
Since you've chosen him, take care of yourself.
I didn't choose him!
His shoulders tightened. Then, slowly, he turned around. His face was unreadable.
Then who?
I smiled, the first real smile of 2 lifetimes.
You'll find out in 3 days.
The next morning, a parade of garment bags arrived in my suite, dozens of dresses for the engagement dinner. I was running my fingers over a champagne-colored Bajli Mishka gown, when the door burst open. Jay strode in, escorting Sophia.
Oh my god, they're so beautiful. I've never seen anything like this.
Someday, Sophia, I'll buy you dresses like this. I swear.
You're so sweet, Jay, but we both know I don't deserve to wear things like this. I'm just me.
Her gaze fell on the champagne-colored dress in my hand.
Is that the limited edition? The one from Paris Fashion Week? I saw it in a magazine. It costs more than the house I grew up in.
I said nothing. Continued examining the beadwork. Jay walked over to me.
Give her the dress.
No.
This isn't a request, Scarlett. Sophia wants that dress. You're gonna be my fiancé anyway, so it doesn't matter what you wear. You're only wearing it for me anyway. To be honest, I'd rather see her happy than see you in another overpriced dress.
No.
This isn't a request, Scarlett.
The bead embroidery brushed across, leaving a wound in the palm.
Here. Go try it on.
Sophia, with a victorious smile, glanced at me over his shoulder. Knowing gloat that said, I win. Again. Then the mask was back, and she clutched the dress to her chest, eyes welling with gratitude.
Jay, I couldn't.
Yes, you must.
They disappeared into my walk-in closet, the door clicking shut behind them. I stood alone among the scattered finery, blood dripping onto the Persian carpet, and something inside me hardened into stone. The night before the dinner, my father summoned all 9 men to the great drawing room. Crystal glasses clinked, fear light danced on the walls, and the air was thick with unasked questions.
I've called you here because tomorrow night, one of you will become engaged to my daughter.
A ripple of surprise swept through the group. Mason stood in a corner, downing whiskey like water. Jay kept glancing toward the hallway that led to Sophia's room, anxiety tightening his jaw. The others grinned and patted Jay on the shoulder.
Congratulations, brother. We all knew it would be you. Yeah, she's been following you since she was a kid. No way she'd pick anyone else.
Jay accepted the congratulations with a strained smile. Later that night, I was lying in bed brushing my hair when the door flew open. Jay stormed in, his face purple with rage. He grabbed my arm, yanked me off the bed.
You did this.
He hissed.
You drove Sophia away.
What are you talking
She
about?
left a letter. She said she couldn't stand watching me marry you. Said her heart was broken. Said she might as well be dead. If she hurt self, Scarlett, I swear to God I'll make you
I
pay.
didn't choose you, you idiot! I chose someone else! You're free. Go be with Sophia.
Now get out of my room or I'll call my father.
The mention of my father seemed to snap him back to reality. Stumbling backward, then he turned and left, slamming the door so hard the mirrors rattled. I lay on the floor, rubbing my bruised throat, and laughed. It was a broken sound, hollow and bitter. The next morning, Jay returned with Sophia. Both of them looked haggard. Jay stopped me at the entrance to the dining room. His voice was flat, resigned.
I've thought it over, Scarlett. If my duty requires me to marry you, then fine, I'll marry you. But I will never love you. And if you hurt Sophia again, if you're ever cruel to her again, I'll call it all off. Even if it means defying your father.
I set down my orange juice.
Jay, for the last time, I'm not marrying you.
He snorted. Then he turned and walked away with Sophia, his arm around her waist. I watched them leave, and for the first time, I felt nothing. Not anger. Not heartbreak. Just a quiet, deep relief that I had finally stopped loving a ghost. The dinner began at 8. Champagne flowed like water. A string quartet played Vivaldi. I stood before the mirror in the powder room, wearing a deep emerald green silk gown, the one I'd chosen after Sophia stole the champagne dress. My hair was pinned up, diamonds glittered at my throat. My lips were stained berry dark. A knock. Sophia slipped inside and closed the door. She was wearing the champagne dress. It hung loosely on her thinner frame, but she held herself like a queen.
You look passable.
Her voice dripping with contempt. The trembling, frightened mouse was gone. Standing here was a woman with steel in her spine.
What do you want, Sophia? I want you to know that I won.
You had everything, money, power, a father who would burn the world for you. And I still took the only thing you wanted. Jay loves me, not you. Never you.
You can have him.
Don't pretend you don't care. I've seen the way you look at him. Always have. Now you're about to stand on that stage and announce your engagement. And everyone will know that even the great Scarlett Rossi couldn't keep her man.
You're wrong about many things, Sophia, but you'll find out how wrong very soon.
Where are you going? We're not done.
It's over.
She took a fruit knife out of her bag, slashed one's own hand. Then she screamed. Several bodyguards rushed in to find Sophia staring at me.
Miss Rossi, why? I only wanted to wish you luck. I didn't mean to offend you.
Jay pushed through the crowd and slapped me across the face. The sharp crack echoed off the marble walls. Mason caught Jay's arm before he could raise it again, twisting it behind his back.
Are you insane? The boss will kill you! Let me go! She hurt Sophia! Again!
I didn't!
I should have known! You're poison!
The other bodyguards dragged him away, still shouting. I stood alone in the powder room, my cheek stinging, my palm pressed to the burning skin. 1 more hour, I told myself. 1 more hour, and everything will change. When my father and I stepped onto the stage, the ballroom fell silent. Hundreds of faces turned toward us, mob bosses, politicians, celebrities, all the glittering parasites who fed on my father's power.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming tonight. I've gathered you here to announce some happy news. My daughter Scarlett has chosen a fiancé from among the 9 young men I raised to protect her.
Everyone's eyes turned to Jay.
The one she has chosen is...
Wait!
Jay's voice cut through the room like a knife.
Mr. Rossi, I'm sorry, but I have something to say.
My father's smile didn't waver, but his eyes went cold.
Now is not the time.
With respect, sir, it is the time. I don't love Scarlett. I never have. I won't marry her just because you raised me. I know this will cost me everything. My home, my future, even my life. But I'd rather die standing than live on my knees.
The crowd erupted in whispers.
Did he just refuse the boss's daughter?
That's either brave or stupid.
Poor Scarlett, publicly rejected.
Son, I don't know where you heard that my daughter was going to marry you, but you're mistaken.
Jay blinked.
What?
My daughter's fiancé is not you. It's Mason Vaughn.
Mason leaned against the pillar, letting the glass slip from his fingers and fall to the ground.
Come here, son.
Mason walked forward as if in a dream. His eyes never left mine. When he reached the stage, I took his hand.
Is this real?
Absolutely.
Everyone, I'd like you to meet my fiancé, Mason Vaughn.
The applause of everyone rose up, merging into a roar.
No.
He muttered.
No, this can't be. You can't.
He lunged at me, grabbing my arm.
Scarlett, you're trying to punish me, aren't you? Because of Sophia? You're just using Mason to make me jealous.
I'm not using anyone.
You've loved me for 10 years. Everyone knows. You can't just...
Watch me.
Back off, Jay. She made her choice. Scarlett, please, think about what you're doing. You don't love him. You barely know him. But we have a past. Please, don't throw this away because you're angry at Sophia.
I'm not angry at Sophia, Jay. I just don't love you anymore.
Ji knelt down helplessly, as if he had lost the whole world. The rest of the dinner passed like a blurry dream. Mason pulled me into a quiet alcove.
Scarlett, I need to know. Did you choose me just to hurt him?
I reached up and touched his face, tracing his sharp jawline.
No, Mason. I chose you because you've always been there. Even when I was too blind to see.
Something shattered behind his eyes. He pulled me into his arms.
I've waited too long to hear that.
I know. I'm sorry it took me 2 lifetimes to say it.
He didn't ask what I meant. He just kissed me, gentle and fierce. The next few weeks were strange. My father did as he said and expelled Jay from the estate. He didn't kill him, that would have been too easy, but stripped him of everything. Title, salary, home. Jay was now just another ghost in the city, a man without a past or a future. Sophia was sent away too, but only after Mason's investigation revealed the truth of her self-harm. Hotel security footage showed her stabbing herself with a dinner knife. The hand-washing story was pure fabrication. The wounds on her hands, chemical burns she'd given herself by applying cleaning solution. When my father laid the evidence before Jay, his face went white as chalk.
I didn't know.
He whispered.
I swear to God I didn't know.
But knowing or not no longer mattered. The damage was done. Mason and I slowly found our rhythm. Breakfast together on the terrace. Long walks in the garden. Whole nights of talking until sunrise. Sharing stories we had never told anyone. I learned that Mason had been left at a fire station. When he was 3 days old he bounced through 7 foster homes until my father found him at 11. He taught himself to read by stealing library books because none of his foster families cared enough to send him to school. I learned that he had loved me from the first moment he saw me. A 7-year-old girl in a white dress, chasing butterflies in the rose garden. He was 12 then, skinny and wary, convinced that everyone would eventually hurt him. But I laughed, and that laugh cracked something open inside him. I asked one night as we lay in the grass counting stars.
Why did you never tell me?
'Cause you had Jay.
He said simply.
Jay had sunshine in his smile and wind in his hair. I was just a shadow in the corner.
You were never just a shadow, Mason.
He turned his head to look at me.
Wasn't I?
I traced his collarbone.
No.
Even when my love for Jay had blinded me,
You're the only one who makes me feel safe.
some part of me had always known that Mason would be the one to catch me when I fell. One morning, I went out alone to run an errand, and saw Jay at the estate gate. He looked terrible, clothes wrinkled, jaw stubbled, eyes bloodshot.
Scarlett,
He said.
please. Just 5 minutes.
You have 2 minutes.
He swallowed hard.
I know everything now. About Sophia, about her lies, about the hand washing, the knife wound, all of it. I saw the surveillance footage.
I saw her smile afterwards. Scarlett, she smiled.
And then?
He dropped to his knees on the gravel path.
You're right.
I said.
Every time you chose her. And the worst part isn't even the lies, Jay. It's that you never asked for my side. You never trusted me. 10 years after everything we'd been through, you'd rather believe a stranger than me.
I know, I'll regret this for the rest of my life, but please, give me a chance to make it right.
I can't.
Why? Because of Mason? He's not right for you, Scarlett. He's too dark, too broken. He'll drag you down.
Jay, Mason has never dragged me down. He's lifted me up again and again.
I drove away without looking back. In the rearview mirror, he stayed kneeling in the dust, head bowed, shoulders shaking. Months passed. Jay stopped appearing at the gate. I heard through the grapevine that he'd found a job at the docks, loading containers. He'd moved into a studio apartment with no heating. Sophia tried to contact him, but he'd changed his number. I stopped thinking about it. Mason and I were building something new, something that had nothing to do with the past. We traveled together. Paris, where we got lost in the Louvre, and ate croissants by the Seine. Tokyo, where we sang karaoke off-key and took the Shinkansen to Kyoto. Rome, where we threw coins into the Trevi fountain, and made wishes I was too superstitious to speak aloud. We fought too. Over stupid things, what to watch on TV, whether to get a dog. I won. Whose turn it was to do the dishes. Mason claimed it was always his, which was objectively false. But we always made up, usually with restorative sex, that left us breathless and laughing. Slowly, I began to believe that I really could have the happy ending that had been stolen from me in my previous life. Then, 3 days before Mason's birthday, I went out to buy him a gift. I should have taken a bodyguard. I knew that. But I wanted to surprise him, so I slipped away alone, drove into the city, and found the perfect gift at a boutique. A vintage watch, rose gold, leather band, the color of his eyes.
Scarlett!
Sophia stepped out from behind a parked van. She looked like a ghost.
Sophia, you look like hell? I know.
She smiled.
Expulsion from university will do that to you. Social ostracement. Plus, with an attempted murder charge on my record, no one wants to hire me. I didn't press charges. No, your father did it for you. But you know that. And she foden take desperation. She evely dang this in traitly or an alacold for seduct to the Baltim. What do you want, Sophia?
She took a step closer.
I want to understand. How did you do it? How did you turn him against me? I mean Jay. He worshipped me. He would have burned the world for me. Then overnight, he just stopped.
I saw the way you looked at him in the hospital. Like you already knew everything. Like you'd lived through it before. You remember too, don't you? The last time my blood turned cold. You're not the only one who came back.
She whispered.
When I woke up in this timeline, I thought I was crazy, but then I started remembering things. The cage, the water, your screams as you filled up.
The smile spread across her face.
Then I knew. You came back too. You're crazy.
She circled me like a shark.
Maybe. But I'm not wrong.
Why Jay ended up choosing you over me. And then I realized, because you knew. You knew what I was going to do before I did it. So you changed the game.
Even if that were true, it is true.
She stopped in front of me.
But here's the thing, Scarlet. Knowing the future is useless if you can't change it. I'll make sure you die just as horribly as before. Maybe worse.
I reached for my phone, but she was faster. A cloth pressed over my mouth and nose. The last thing I saw was her smile. When I woke up, I smelled rust and decay. My head throbbed. My wrists were chained, my ankles locked to a metal chair. I was in a warehouse, abandoned, by the look of it. Broken windows, collapsed walls, the skeletons of machinery. Standing before me were 5 men. I recognized them immediately. They were the same men from my previous life, the ones who had locked me in the iron cage and watched me drown.
Yo, the princess is awake.
You won't get away with this,
I said.
My father will tear this city apart to find me.
He'll try.
Scar neck shrugged.
But by the time he finds where you are, you'll be at the bottom of the harbor. Same as last time.
Not this time. You see, Scarlet,
she said,
fate has a way of correcting itself. You were supposed to die, and I was supposed to get the man. The universe doesn't like it when you cheat. You're going to kill me in front of these men? Oh, they're not witnesses. They're my partners. We split the ransom your father pays. Then we disappear.
She crouched in front of me.
But before that,
her breath on my cheek.
They're going to have a little fun with you first.
She's even prettier up close, isn't she?
We had a deal! You get the money, I watch her die! No extras!
Plans change.
The man reached for my dress.
Besides, she's gonna die anyway. What's a little fun before that?
The other men laughed, crude and ugly, but she didn't argue.
Fine.
She stepped back.
But I'm watching.
A smile curling her lips. The door burst open. Jay stood in the frame, backlit by the setting sun. He was dressed in dockworker's clothes, canvas jacket, steel-toed boots, but his eyes were a killer's eyes. He moved like water, like wind, like the weapon he'd been trained to be. 3 men went down before they could draw their guns. A 4th managed to pull a pistol, but Jay twisted it from his grip, with a flick of his wrist, breaking the man's arm with a sound like a snapping branch. Scar neck charged, but Jay sidestepped and slammed an elbow into the back of his skull. The man collapsed, unconscious. Then Jay turned to Sophia. She froze, the knife still in her hand, her face a mask of terror.
Jay, please.
She whispered.
I did this for us. For you and me. Without her, we could be together.
Shut up.
He walked past her, ignoring her outstretched hand. His voice was hoarse.
Are you okay?
No. I'm shaking, but intact. You came in time.
He let out a long breath, shuddering, and pulled off his jacket to drape over my shoulders. The fabric smelled of salt and sweat and something else. Something that had once smelled like home. He lifted me into his arms, against his chest.
I'm getting you out of here.
Sophia let out a wounded.
You choose her? After everything? After she destroyed me?
You destroyed yourself, Sophia. I was just too blind to see it.
Sophia screamed, then shriek of pure rage, and lunged. The knife went into Jay's back, just below his shoulder blade. He staggered, nearly dropping me, but caught himself on the doorframe. I struggled to the ground,
Jay!
catching him as he swayed. Sophia stood behind us, her face blank with shock.
I didn't mean to. I was aiming for her.
Blood dripping from the corner of his mouth.
You always aimed at the wrong target.
He fell. I caught him, lowering him to the concrete floor, pressing my hands against the wound in his back.
Don't leave me. Please, Jay. Don't go.
I begged him. His eyes fluttered open. He looked at me, really looked at me.
You came back.
He whispered.
After I died, you came back to save me.
I came back to save myself.
Same thing. I'm sorry, Scarlet, for everything. For not believing you, for choosing her again and again when you were the only one who mattered.
Don't talk. Save your strength.
I love you, you know. From the very first moment, I was just scared. Scared I wasn't good enough. Scared that if you saw the real me, you'd leave. So I pushed you away first, before you could push me away.
His voice growing fainter.
I know.
The question hung in the air, heavy as lead.
Do you forgive me?
I thought of the iron cage, the rising water, the years of believing Sophia's lies. When I was afraid of thunderstorms, the boy who had just stepped in front of a knife for me.
I forgive you.
I said.
Jay! Jay!
The warehouse door burst open again.
Scarlet!
His face was twisted with fear. He rushed over, dropping to his knees beside me, pulling me away from Jay's body. His hands ran over me, checking for wounds.
I'm okay.
I said.
But Jay, he saved me. He took the knife.
Mason looked at Jay's still form, then at Sophia, who had collapsed against the far wall, sobbing.
Get a doctor.
He ordered.
Now.
One of the guards ran to make the call. Mason pulled me into his arms, holding me so tightly I could feel his heart hammering against my ribs.
I thought I lost you.
He murmured.
When I got home and you weren't there. When your phone went straight to voicemail.
I'm here. I'm okay.
He pulled back just enough to cup my face in his hands.
I can't live without you, Scarlet. I can't.
You don't have to.
Behind us, sirens sounded in the distance. Jay survived. The knife missed his vital organs by less than an inch. The doctors called it a miracle. I visited him once in the hospital after he woke up.
Scarlet. Mason.
I sat in the chair by his bed.
How do you feel?
Like someone stabbed me in the back, which I suppose they did.
A long, awkward silence.
I'm not going to ask you to take me back. I know I don't deserve it. But I want you to know I'm going to get help. Real help, therapy. Figure out why I became this way.
He looked at Mason.
Take care of her, the way I never could.
Mason nodded.
I will.
We left a few minutes later. As the elevator doors closed, Mason took my hand. He asked,
Are you okay? That's enough.
I will be.
3 years later, Mason and I stood before a small altar in my father's rose garden. The guests were few, just family, plus a handful of close friends. White flowers cascaded from every arch, and a string quartet played Bach. My father walked me down the aisle, his arm steady under mine. He was crying, actually crying, the tough old bastard, and I pretended not to notice. Mason waited at the altar in a custom navy suit, his storm gray eyes fixed on me as if I were the only light in a dark world. When we exchanged vows, his voice cracked on.
Until death do us part.
I murmured to him alone.
I've died once already. I don't plan on doing it again.
Tears streaming down his face, he laughed and kissed me. The reception lasted until dawn. My father danced with every woman present, including the servers. Mason's men, the remaining 8, Jay conspicuously absent, raised toast after toast. Then, just as the sun began to lighten the eastern sky, a messenger brought a letter. In the letter, Jay said he truly wished us a lifetime of happiness. Reading this, I knew everything was finally over. I folded the letter and put it in my pocket. Mason came up behind me, wrapping his arms around my waist.
Who wrote it?
I said.
Just a ghost.
He didn't press. He never pressed. We stood together, watching the sun rise over the garden, turning the roses to gold. Years passed like seasons. We had 3 children, first twins, a boy and a girl, then another girl 2 years later. They had my copper hair and Mason's gray eyes, my stubbornness and his patience. They were loud, chaotic, and absolutely perfect. When my father finally retired to a villa in Tuscany, Mason took over his business, transformed a criminal empire into a legitimate holding company. He still came home for dinner every night, One evening, when the children were asleep, and the house was quiet, I slipped into Mason's study. I was looking for a book, something light, escapist, when I found the box. It was made of dark walnut, unmarked, hidden behind a row of law books. Curious, I dragged it out and opened the lid. Letters lay before my eyes. Every single letter was a love letter Mason had written to me. By the time I reached the last one, tears were streaming down my face, and wouldn't stop. It turned out that the person who had rescued me from the pond was Mason, pulling me out, and then passed out. I was crying so hard I didn't hear Mason come in.
Scarlett? What's wrong?
He stood in the doorway, frowning. I held up the box.
Did you write all of these letters?
His face went pale. He walked over,
You weren't supposed to find that.
gently closed the box, and set it aside. Then he took my hands.
Why didn't you tell me?
About how it was you who saved me, not Jay.
Because it didn't matter. You loved him. Whether you knew it or not, you would have loved him. And I didn't want you to feel indebted to me.
Indebted. Mason, I chose you. Not because you saved me, not because of the letters, because you are the best thing that ever happened to me.
His eyes lit up.
I know that now.
I said.
I love you. I should have said it sooner, every day for the past 10 years.
You're saying it now. That's all that matters.
He pulled me into his arms, and buried his face in my hair. Years turned into decades. The children grew up, left home, built lives of their own. Silver appeared at Mason's temples, and laugh lines carved parentheses around my mouth. We grew old together. On our 40th wedding anniversary, we sat on the porch swing, watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of orange and pink. The garden was in full bloom, roses, hydrangeas, the jasmine Mason had planted the year we married.
Do you ever think about the past?
I asked,
Sometimes.
resting my head on his shoulder.
What do you think about?
He was quiet for a moment. Then he said,
The pond.
I turned to look at him.
The day you fell through the ice. I think about how cold the water was, how scared I was. I couldn't actually swim. Never learned, but I jumped in anyway. Because you were down there, and the thought of losing you was more terrifying than the thought of drowning.
I kissed his cheek.
You never told me you couldn't swim.
He smiled.
I learned that day. Need is the best teacher.
We sat in silence, watching the stars appear.
Mason,
Yeah.
thank you for jumping in.
The night breeze carried the scent of gardenias. He turned and kissed me, soft, sweet, the same as on our wedding night 40 years ago.